asked you what is the biggest difference between that one and this one. So you told me that new custom SQL is the biggest difference, right? That's where we stopped. Why new custom SQL came now? Why new custom SQL was not there earlier, right? So why new custom SQL was there earlier, was not there earlier, and why it came now? So what is special about it? So what is new custom SQL, right? So why? Whenever you open any Excel with a legacy connection, that will be treated as an RDBMS data source. Whenever you open Excel with an RDBM, so Excel with a legacy connection, that will be treated as an RDBMS data source. Okay, that is the reason, right? You can write SQL only on RDBMS data sources. You cannot write SQL on every file or anything. So you can write SQL only on RDBMS data sources. Okay. Since you can write SQL only on RDBMS data sources, whenever you open Excel with a legacy connection, that file is treated as an RDBMS data source. That is the reason you are seeing a new custom SQL here. Got it? Clear? So that's the reason you are seeing a new custom SQL here. What is new custom SQL? That is the only place where you can code something in Tableau. That means if you want to write something, of course you can write something here, no problem. But before writing, you need to know something, right? In the previous class, we didn't see describe, correct? In the previous class, we didn't see describe. What is describe, right? So what is describe? Describe what it is doing, nothing. It is just telling you which data type it is, what kind of data it is, so that thing. But this is important. What is there? What is there is every tool technology will have its own way of identifying Tableau. Will have its own way of identifying, tables and columns. So that's a pretty obvious thing, right? So here also you are seeing something like that. Tableau will identify the tables as table followed by dollar and kept in square braces. That's how Tableau will identify a table name. Table followed by dollar and kept in square braces. And next thing is field, right? So field you can see here. Field name kept in square braces only. There is no dollar. Okay, remember that. Table name followed by dollar and kept in square braces, and field name kept in square braces. Remember that. No, yeah, why are these advanced things? I can't remember. No need. You need not remember because Tableau will automatically do it in the background. So you need not remember. Even if you remember also, you need not do anything because Tableau will take care of it automatically. That's one good thing in Tableau, right? No coding. So that's why. So that's how Tableau will identify tables and columns. Here load is there. Load means just a sample data. So it will load some sample data. You can see the data, what data it is. Okay. Good. Clear. So that's right point there. Okay. You have seen the describe. Now I can write SQL. But I suggest you don't write the SQL directly here. Don't do that. Why? Why you shouldn't write SQL? I'm expert in SQL. Or I know how to write SQL. Why this guy is telling not to write SQL? Right? So now I am writing a SQL like this. I don't have run here. I have only preview results. That's where you need to click not to run the query. So it ran. And you got error also. What is the error? What is error? Can you understand? Can you understand? Nothing. Tell me. So there is nothing there to understand. Even if you tell that this top one something, no, it's not useful. Right? There is no meaning to that. You cannot debug a SQL. You cannot debug a SQL. Right? So that's the point there. So you cannot debug a SQL. That's the point. Right? That's why I suggest whenever you have chance of writing a SQL, you are writing it on a RDBMS data source. That's why go ahead and write it in that front end source. For every database, so for example, you have MySQL. So you have MySQL workbench is there. That's where you can write the SQL. That's for free. So for Oracle SQL developer is there like this. That's for free. So you can write SQL there. For SQL Server Management Studio is there. For everything you have a front end system which is completely free. Right? You can just download it and start writing SQL. That's what I did. So you can also do it. So you write the SQL there. Why? Because they are specially designed to write the SQL. Tableau is not a SQL coding tool or anything. It is a visualization software. So it is not specially meant for that. That's why you cannot debug queries here easily. If it is the same query in Oracle or anything, it will tell you directly in line 1 in column 10 there is error. So it is very easy to correct for you. Right? Dollar is missing there. Very simple thing. Dollar is missing. Right? So in such type of front end, so interfaces, it is easy to correct SQL. So write the SQL there. Make sure it is correct without any errors. Then copy paste the SQL here. Copy paste the SQL here. After copy pasting, you need to do two changes. What are the two changes? You keep a dollar after the table name. Okay. After the table name, you keep a dollar kept in square braces and field name kept in square braces. Good. So field name kept in square braces and table name followed by dollar and kept in square braces. That is how it is. Good. Got it? Now you see that. So those two changes you do. Now you got an error in Tableau in case after copy pasting the data. Sorry. So now you got the output here. So it is successful run. Only dollar was missing there. So now if you get an error in Tableau, you will clearly know that there are only two chances. One is square braces and other is dollar. Right? You can correct it very easily. Only two things, right? So that's how it is. So that you follow as a best practice. Okay. So it will be easy for you to correct the queries or write the queries, such kind of things. Not needed most of the times, but if you're interested, you can start writing. Okay. You can even write stored procedures also here. Right. So obviously you need to write in any interface or anything and then copy paste it here. Okay. So that's how it is. Now, so that's how you can write SQL. Okay. In Tableau. That's the only place where you can code. There is no other place. Next, here you are seeing filters. Filters means data source filter. Okay. Data source filter. It is a data source filter which will apply on the data source even before data enters into Tableau. Even before data enters into Tableau, right, it will filter the data. Okay, so it will filter the data even before data enters into Tableau. So that's why this is data source filter. Okay, got it? So that's how it is. Remember. Okay, so data source filter means filter which will apply on the data source even before data. Now, even if you forget, nothing happens because this is not filters class. So after 2 days or 3 days, we'll go through all filters. Okay, filters class will be there. In that, I'll explain you how to apply filter, all those things. I'll see that. Okay, but remember, this is data source filter. Next, you can connect to any data source by using two options in Tableau. One is live and other one is extract. Special to Tableau. So one is live. Live means live. You will connect live to the database. If the database gets refreshed, your dashboard also will get refreshed. You will see the latest data. Right? That is live. Extract. You will pull the data. You will keep the data in Tableau and you will connect to that data only. That is, you will import a subset of data or full set of data into Tableau, and that means you are keeping the data in Tableau only. You are keeping the data in Tableau only, and you are connecting to that data again and again. Okay, so instead of connecting to the data source every time, right? So you need not do it, right? Now you know, right? You pulled in some 1,000 rows or 2,000 rows. You need to develop a dashboard. You want to connect to that 1,000 rows, 2,000 rows every day, right? Now to create the dashboard. Why should you go for live connection every time? Extract means it will be faster, right? So that's how you can do it. Okay, so it will improve the performance. Okay, now extract is 1.5 hour class. Don't jump into any conclusions or anything. This guy just gave a definition. That's right. Directly you might go to some other topic. No. Okay, 1.5 hour class. Wait. We just started. Now you have two ways here. In real time, right? In real time, right? So people will ask you how you will choose live or extract. Today you got a requirement. What factors you will consider to go for live or extract? Right? How you will choose whether to go for live or extract? How you will choose? Right? So all these days we never had an option, right? So whenever you are buying any product, if you don't have a choice, you will not think at all. You'll just buy the product and start using it. If you have two options, that's when problem starts. Which one to go for? You'll start comparing. If both have same features and almost same pricing, right? Just $100 here and there, you'll get confused. You'll do that, you'll do that, right? So that same problem here also. All these days we had only one. We never thought about it. We had two now. How to decide which one to connect? So that's the problem. Give me 1 minute, guys. I'll have water and come. Okay. Good.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. We'll change the time. Okay. So, but tomorrow
Oh, okay.
do it. Okay.
Yes.
From Monday we'll do it.
Yeah, it's not tomorrow. Just when it's possible, we can do it like half an hour before this time.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll do it from Monday. Okay. Not today.
Okay.
So not tomorrow. Okay. Now, so here you are seeing live and extract. So how you will consider? So how you will decide whether to go for live or extract? So in real time, whenever you get a requirement, first and foremost important factor which you should consider is database performance. So you should see whether database performance is up to the mark or not. How you will do that? You write a sample query. You write a sample query and test how your database is pulling the data. Right? So without that, you cannot do anything about it. So you write the query, check how your database is pulling the data. Based on that, you decide whether to go for live or extract. That means, let's say you are connecting to some DB2 or some Oracle. Your company is using those systems from long time, 10 years, 15 years, like that. Right? So you want to use those systems. Almost 15 years of data is there. Huge amount. So you want to connect to that data source. In such type of situations, it's better you use extract only because the database performance might be very slow. So you pull the data, keep the data in Tableau. Tableau will store the data in columnar database. So Tableau will store the data in columnar database and it can process the data faster compared to some of the databases. Some of the databases, not all. So that's how you can use extract to improve the performance. So you are connecting to the data which is already there in Tableau only again and again. Of course, it will get refreshed now and then. I will talk about that in some time. So you are connecting to Tableau data only. That's what it means. So that is extract. So that's when you go for extract. For example, you are connecting to Hadoop. You are connecting to HANA big data sources. You are very happy. No problem. Go ahead. Do that. Right? So it will process huge amount of data, right? Millions of rows in just fraction of seconds. That's the purpose of Hadoop, right? So it will improve the performance. So based on that database, how the performance is, right? So based on that, you decide whether you should go for live or extract. I'm repeating that again. So based on that, you decide, right? Based on database performance. That's the first factor. And let me tell you, right, to be clear, see, always Hadoop in the sense it doesn't mean that it will process the data faster. Oracle means it will always process the data slower. No, I just gave an example. It depends on lot of factors, plenty of factors. Okay, it depends on infrastructure, number of clusters used, how much data is there, how much data you are processing. If you use Hadoop and Hadoop for processing of just 100 rows or 200 rows, that's a very bad way of using it. Right? For processing of 100, 200 rows, RDBMS is the best thing. That is Oracle such things. If you are processing just millions of rows, billions of rows, that's when you go for Hadoop such kind of. So remember that. And it depends on clusters, systems, RAMs, all those things. It's not directly saying that Hadoop is faster. No, it's not. Okay. So remember that. So it depends on a lot of factors. You don't need to understand all that, but still. So that's how it is. Now, I just took an example. Now, here, so that's when you go for, right? So extract if the database performance is slow. Otherwise, like Next thing, what is the next factor which you will consider? You got a requirement. Okay, so you got a requirement. The requirement says, right, see, I want to see, right, I want to see, right, last 3 months sales, or I want to see, I want to know number of customers who walked into the store from last 6 months. I want to know how many drugs are sold in last 2 months. Right, you got requirements like this, right? So these are, right, some simple requirements. If you observe here, what is happening, your client is specifically asking you, I want to know how many generic drugs are sold in last 2 months, right? So how many, right, branded drugs, for example Pfizer brand drugs, are sold in last 3 months, such kind of things, right? So such kind of things you want. So this is the requirement. Your requirement is clearly saying, I need only 2 months of data, I need only 3 months of data, I need only generic drugs details, right? If you go and connect live, what happens first time, it will go through the system, it will look for that filtering of data, it will filter the data, it will process the data, then, right, it will pull the data and show it to you. This will happen every time you connect, right? This will happen every time you connect live, correct? So it will go to the database in all the rows, again it will try to filter the data, pull the data, all these things it will do every time you open the dashboard. Why all that nonsense? Pull the 2 months data, no, with the generic drugs you pull the data, keep that in Tableau only, right? So in extract we can filter out the exact set of data what you need. So you add the filters here and, right, create extract on top of that, right? Only generic drugs, only branded drugs, only 2 months data, all that, keep that in Tableau, right? Whenever time is available you refresh it, otherwise weekly once or monthly once you can refresh it. So the data is coming into Tableau, and whenever you open the dashboard, since data is there in Tableau only, it will pull the data faster. And what is the most important thing happening here, you are connecting to exact set of data what you want. You don't have even a single row of unnecessary, right? Single row unnecessary there, right? You need that data exactly what you need, that is there here, right? So it is processing only that data, it is not processing anything unnecessary, right? So that's how it is. Even if you don't have internet connection, since it is extract, obviously your dashboard will work and open, right? So if you are connecting to database, you need to have internet connection, and it depends on the database performance most importantly, right? So this is one scenario, right? Another scenario how you will decide. Now you are working for a bank, let's say financial institution. Suddenly your client will come to you, dude, see, I mean, see this asset management, right? We want all the asset management details from last 3 months. So and we want to see, right, the latest details in my dashboard every half an hour. Every half an hour I want to see latest details in my dashboard. Every half an hour, refreshing extract every half an hour is almost an impossible thing. Maybe manually, right, once or twice you can do it, but refreshing every half an hour, servers will be busy, a lot of people will be working on it, you are not the only Tableau developer who is working, so be aware of it. So that's how it is. So in such kind of situations, it's better you connect live only, right? From the database you will pull the data, so whenever database gets refreshed, obviously you'll get the latest data into dashboard. That's how it is. So it's better to connect live, because refreshing every half an hour and getting latest data every half an hour, that's almost, right, very tough thing, not possible, hypothetical kind of situation, right? So that's when you go for live. So like this, based on your requirement, based on your need, right, you decide whether to go for live or extract. Okay, so that's how it is. So extract, most of the times it will improve the performance. So in most of the scenarios people, right, suggest to extract, so better go for it, but that doesn't mean that always you go for extract only. Okay, so that you should remember. Okay, clear? Good. Now, so now you decided whether to go for live or extract. How to create it? Creation, you go here, click on radio button, so live is created, so nothing there, right? Very simple. Next is extract. So extract means if you click on extract, extract is will get created. No, it's not that simple. You have to go here and click on edit. Okay, now first option what is there? It is filter. Filter means filtering the data, obviously, right? So filter means filter. So it will help you to pull in exact subset of data what you need. Okay, it will help you to pull in exact subset of data what you need. Okay, so it will help you to pull in exact subset of data, so exact subset what you need. That is the purpose of, right, so filter there. Okay, so it will pull in exact subset of data whatever you want. So I want only 100 customers, so go there and select it and do it. I'll not do it now, we'll go through each option here. So after looking through each option, then I'll create extract. Okay, so first one is filter. So filter is more important because it will help you to pull in exact set of data what you need, subset of data or full set of data, whatever it is, right? So that's filter here. Next is aggregation. Aggregation here, so aggregation generally is, aggregate means you will aggregate the data, right, based on, right, generally some, right, count, right, maximum, minimum, these are all aggregate functions, but here it is a bit different. And you will aggregate it on measures generally, right, time period we don't do it, but here it is with respect to time period only. Here aggregation is with respect to time period. What does that mean exactly? Now every day, so you are going to retail store, so you are doing some transaction, and like you, many people are doing the transactions in a retail store, let's say, or in a ATM or in a bank, anywhere. So you're doing some transactions, like you, thousands of transactions are happening throughout the world. And suddenly, right, so, right, suddenly your client will come to you and say, see guys, I mean, I want to know how many new customers joined our credit card section from last 2 months. Okay, how many new credit card holders are there from last 2 months, right? How many people who are already engaged with our bank, that means either they have a savings account or salary account or something, went for a mortgage loan, right? So like this you got a requirement, right? They are not asking you how many transactions happened, how much money they have withdrawn, how much money is deposited, right? They are not asking you how many products are sold, how many transactions are done. Nobody is asking you all these things, right? That means you need not go by each transaction. Each transaction, how it will be, date and time. So transaction will be date and time wise, that is every second some transaction will be happening, but nobody is asking you that, right? So data is stored at seconds level, but you want month wise, correct? You need to show per month how many customers are there. So first month 200 customers, second month 300 customers. For that you don't need to go through each and every transaction, right? So that's how it is. So you can go through month here directly. That means even before you open the dashboard, your data is aggregated for you, it is kept ready for you. So it is not aggregating the moment you open the dashboard, it has already aggregated, it is already filtered. So everything is done and the data is ready exactly what you, how you want it in the dashboard. So that is extra. So you can aggregate it here only. While storing the data itself, you will aggregate it and store, so that when you open the dashboard, it is ready for you and it is faster. Let me tell you, every time I'm telling you some option, right, still that I'll tell you a lot of options which will improve the performance. That doesn't mean that there is a miracle which is going to happen there. Okay, a dashboard which is running for 15 minutes or 20 minutes will run in just 1 minute or 30 seconds, such kind of things. Don't expect such kind of things. That's totally a miracle. So if you create a dashboard which is running for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, that means it's a totally a blunder. Okay, a dashboard will never run for 15-20 minutes. So that's totally right, very very late, nobody will accept such things anyway. So what will happen, performance improvement here in the sense, a dashboard which is opening in maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes is coming down to 30 seconds or 45 seconds something. Okay, it is matter of seconds, not even minutes. Okay, not even a minute. So remember that performance improvement means that is performance. And that doesn't mean that whenever you apply something like this, that doesn't mean that performance will improve. No, it will not, right? Your requirement is, let's say your requirement is a hours requirement and it is at seconds level, how much big difference it is. It doesn't make a big deal at all. So that's a very wrong way of doing things. And you are connected to a table where the data is stored already at month level and you are trying to do it at year level, right? What, 12 months, that's all. right? Instead of 12 rows, you are getting only one row here, which is here. Not a big deal again, right? So it depends on factors like that. Okay, so that's how it is. But 1 second. Hello. Yes. Let's చెప్పండి sir. Better back to the point again, right? So that's aggregation. So as I told you, performance improvement doesn't mean that always you will see a miracle. Okay, that doesn't happen. In internet, there is one scenario which is given by Tableau itself. They have created an extract of 120 GB and they have pulled it down to, so they just for showing how the performance can be improved, they created an extract of 120 GB and they have reduced the size of that extract to 1 GB. Where is 120 GB and where is 1 GB? Okay, they have shown that example. So by seeing such examples, don't believe that it will happen in real time, because to create an extract of 120 GB, that's totally a nonsense. First of all, nobody will do such kind of things. Okay, it's better you connect live. So they have just added a filter. Without adding filter, they created one. By adding a filter, they created one. That's all it is. And they added some aggregation, something like this. So that's all it is. They did that wantonly to show you how extract can be used effectively. That doesn't mean in real time also your performance just will zoom in like that. No, it's not. Okay. It depends on a lot of factors. See, your laptop RAM is just 2 GB only. You try to open Tableau. In my system, it will open just like that because it is 12 GB RAM. And if you're all, generally people will use 1 GB, 2 GB RAM only. That's pretty obvious. But since for this purpose, I used 12 GB RAM because I have a lot of softwares. So, right, in my system, it might open, but in your system, it might not open. That doesn't mean that Tableau is performing slowly, right? For Tableau, you are just allocating hardly, right, 200 MB RAM or something, and your data is somewhere around 25,000 or something. That is 1 GB is there. At a time, only 200 MB RAM will be coming in, right? So it will happen in cycles. If you understand how the processing will happen in a hardware, right? So you'll understand that. So anyway, so what I mean is it will depend on a lot of factors. Okay, don't expect miracles. Now, next thing here. So what you did, you created an extract. You created extract, you created a dashboard on top of it, and you gave it to your client. Client says, yeah, very good. Everything is good. Performance is good. I'm also happy. He is right. He started using it. First 2 days. Okay, good, easy. 1 week. He is seeing the same data. What is this guy? He created an extract. He's showing the same data regularly, right? You are giving good performance doesn't mean that you show the same data regularly, right? That's totally wrong. You should refresh it. You you should show the latest data always to the user, right? Creating extract is not an excuse to show the same data. That's the wrong thing to do. So you should always show the latest data to your clients. How we can do it? By using refresh option. We have two types of refreshes. One is incremental refresh and other one is full refresh. Okay, what is what? So what is incremental refresh? What is full refresh? Now, full refresh means it will remove everything and it will create extract newly. Okay, it will remove everything and it will create extract newly with all the valid data. Okay, next, incremental refresh. Incremental refresh means it will not remove the old data, it will keep on adding the new data. That is incremental, right? For example, let's take an ideal scenario here to understand it in a better way. Let's say into your database, you are getting daily 200 rows. Okay, into your database, you are getting daily 200 rows. Okay, you are getting daily 200 rows. Now, your client asked you, right, create a dashboard which shows me last 30 days details. Last 30 days. With respect to 29th March, last 30 days means it will go to February 29th. Okay, ideally speaking, I know that 29th is not there, but ideally speaking, right? So it will go to February 29th. That's 30 days. So it will pull data from February 29th to March 29th. Okay, you create an extract. But in next few hours, it will change the time. That is, it will become 30. So when it becomes 30, what should happen? Your extract should contain from February 30 to March 30. Obviously, right? Your client asked you only last 30 days details. So it should contain from February 30 to March 30 or March 1st to March 30. Right? That's how it is. Now, how you will do it is, if you do a full refresh, what happens is all the data will be removed. That is, the 29th data is not needed, right? 29th February data is not needed because 30th March came in, new data came in. So now this is 30 days. So full refresh, if you do, extract will contain exactly what you need. That is from March 1st to March 30 only. It will remove the old data, not needed. Incremental refresh, if you do, February 29th data will be there, but March 30 data will come and add to the existing data. Okay, that's how incremental refresh is. It will just keep on adding like that. It will not remove the old data. Got it? That is incremental. This is full. Clear? Okay. Now, so generally what people suggest is whenever you are doing a refresh in weekdays, a lot of burden will be there on the server. And nowadays, you know that from India people are working, from US people are working, from China people are working, only one server will be there. So all Tableau developers will be on that only. So a lot of refresh might be happening. In that case, go for incremental refresh. But weekly ones or monthly ones, go for a full refresh. So that it will just remove all that unnecessary data what you don't want. Right? That's how you can improve the performance. Okay. Now, so how refresh will happen? So now I am creating an extract. I connected to a data source and Tableau knows that this is the data source. How system will know it? Right. Next time you are not there, you are completely automated. You scheduled it. This refresh. So you can refresh the you can do this refresh in two methods again. One is through scheduling and other one is through manual. Manual is you will just log into server. There you will click on run now. Okay, there you click on run now, it will run immediately. But here in Tableau, so another one is scheduling. That is, you will schedule it every Sunday midnight, it has to run. So automatically every Sunday midnight it will run, right? Every Tuesday morning it has to run, it will run. So like that, scheduling. That's what everybody does. Schedule is nothing but your alarm. Don't think too much. Okay, so it is there from 15 years, 20 years only. Alarm, how long is alarm? It is there from long time, right? Similarly here also. Okay, so just like alarm only, it will be there. Okay, good. So that's how it is. So right, just right like that, just like alarm only, at that time it will trigger and run, right? That's a pretty obvious thing. It is not new to Tableau. It is there from long time. Anyway, so now you know, right? So you schedule it. How Tableau will know that I have to connect to this file only? I have to connect to this data source only? Because extract will save the connection details to the original data source. Extract will save connection details to the original data source. That is the reason, right? Tableau knows that I need to connect to this table in this source only. Okay, good. So since Tableau knows it, it can, so it saves the connection details. Path it will save, complete path it will save, including the server name and everything. So that's why it knows I have to connect to this data source. It knows, that's fine. Okay, it knows. It goes to this file and it connects. How it will know which is latest data? I told incremental refresh will pull in only new data. It will not. Doesn't check for old data. So how Tableau will know whether it is latest data or not? Right? It will keep a tab on the last row. Okay, it will keep a tab on the last row. So that's what it does. Okay, so it will keep a tab on the last row. Okay, since it will keep a tab on the last row, using that last row it will verify, yeah, until here I pulled yesterday, from today after this whatever is there is new data. So it will cross verify, is this data same, is this data same, is this same, is this okay, and finally it will pull that complete row if it is new. So like that it will pull only the new rows. Okay, now instead of checking each and every field here, right, for every row, if you just check that primary key field, that's enough, right? Unique field, right? If you just check the unique field, that's enough, right? So that's what you do in real time. So you just specify that unique field. Okay, So you don't need to check each and every field unnecessarily. Okay, just to check that unique field. That's how it is. Okay, so just to check that unique field. So transaction, for example, anywhere transaction ID, transaction date and time. So these things will be unique, correct? Or row ID if you see here, right? Such kind of things. So choose something like that, right? So Tableau will directly go to that row. Yeah, I pulled in until 741, and whatever is there after 741, it will pull all the data into extract directly. Okay, so that's how, right? Incremental refresh will happen or full refresh will happen. Got it? Understood? I know this is a bit of a dry concept. I mean, I'll be talking. There is nothing much action happening here, right? So this topic is like that because understanding the background concepts, right, will help you. But for real time and all, nobody will ask you all these things. In interviews also, nobody is asking because not many people know. First of all, so just since for training purpose, I'm doing it. But right. So if you know, it is always good, right? Now concepts. That's why. Now, next is top. Top is nothing but top 100, top 200 rows, just pulling in some sample data. History, nothing is there. Nothing is there. Next is hide all unused fields. Don't click on it without understanding. This hide is hiding the fields. So you can hide the fields here also. You can hide the fields here also. You need not really click here and right create hide. Where is that? So you need not click here in the extract and click on hide all unused fields. Don't do that. Why? Why you should not do it? One second. So don't do it. Why should not do it? Why you should not do it? For example, hide all unused fields means it will hide all those fields which you are not using here. It will hide all those fields which you are not using here. So that's how it is. Huh? Okay. So it will hide all those fields which you are not using here. Right. At this point of time, I am not using a single field here. At this point of time, I am not using a single field here. Okay. So if I click on hide all unused fields, it will create an empty extract. It will create an empty extract. Remember that. That's why don't click on this. Okay, unless until you are sure. In real time, whenever you are doing some task, you should always think about reusability. Reusability. You create an extract for with just 4 fields, what you need. And your friend will come and say, your colleague will come and say, I need this field in that extract. You cannot edit an extract. Extract cannot be edited. Once it is created, that's done. Only rows can be added and deleted, but not the columns. Fields cannot be added and deleted. So that's why that extract will go waste. So don't do that. So whenever you're creating an extract, right, pull in as many fields as you can, but don't pull in unnecessary fields. Again, it will affect the performance, right? So talk to your colleagues or anybody, ask them if the fields are needed or not. So don't click on this unnecessarily. Okay, don't do that. If you want to hide a field particularly, hide it from here because you can see those fields very easily. Later on, if you want to unhide them, you can unhide them. But if you hide it from here, it will create an empty extract. Okay, so be aware of it. So right, so that is one important thing. So don't click on this. That's all I say. Go ahead and right hide fields from here. Okay, good. Next, we have to create an extract. Since we have seen all the options here, so we have to create an extract. Even if I create now, right, we can't complete extract. Okay, so only 8 minutes is there. So even if I create now, I can't complete it now. So maybe in the next class tomorrow same time. Okay, since you asked for changing timing, maybe from Monday we'll do that time. Okay, and tomorrow is a Friday. So plan accordingly. If you both are coming in the weekend, I'll teach you. If you are not coming, I'll not teach you. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, so if you are coming, I teach. If you are coming, think about the timings, what timings it's comfortable for you, all those things, and let me know in the next class. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you have my email ID now. So I shared video, that means you have my email ID now. Okay, Remember that. Okay, you can send the you can send it to same email ID. Okay, so in case if in case of anything important, but in tomorrow's class we will discuss the timing. Don't send me mail or anything. So right, I don't prefer mails. So in tomorrow's class, right, we'll discuss. Think about the timings. If you're coming, class is there. If you're not coming, no class. Okay, as simple as it is. Don't take too much pressure. Okay, so this guy is taking class, I have to sit. Don't think like that. So come whenever you are interested and listen to the classes. Classes will be going on continuously.